for inviting me. Tenants and residents are at the heart of Riverside, of all we do, and you're the reason why we try to do better. So I'm absolutely delighted to be here. As your captains have told you, this is a very special year for Liverpool as well as a very special year for Riverside. And I'm going to have a little look with you at what we've been up to this year in a minute. But let's look back first at some of our history. This is what our founders set out to do in 1928. The world has changed a lot in the last 80 years, but there are still major problems of housing, poverty and deprivation throughout the country. And we at Riverside are still at the heart of solving them. We have grown geographically, as has been mentioned. We are now a truly national provider of homes and services. We have a very special and extra dimension to our work through ECHG, who provide accommodation and direct services to some of the most vulnerable and disadvantaged people in the country. And so with this broadening and deepening of our work, it did seem appropriate to try and review our vision and values. And we've settled on transforming lives and revitalising a neighbourhood. And that's going to be hard to do, but I think it's worth trying for, don't you? Tenants and service users remain our top priority. You tell us what you need, what you think of us, you monitor our service, and best of all, you praise us when we get things right, and you tell the world about us. You are our biggest critics, but also our best ambassadors. And I thank you all for your commitment and hard work. So I know that you will help us go on improving, and by your involvement in checking out what we do, we will get better. And the focus of the Tenant Services Authority is going to be on you. That's great news for you, it's great news for us, because together we are ahead of the game in tenant and organised housing association relations, but we can't rest on our laurels. And that's why some of the things you're going to be talking about this morning are about how residents can become more involved in the work that Riverside does, how important it is to reach all of our communities, both across the country and all the different and diverse communities that you're going to be celebrating this afternoon. And I'll be looking forward to hearing the ideas you come up with to help us involve tenants more. Finally, we'll be an organisation which continues to put customers at the heart of what we do. I hope I'm not sounding like a broken record now, but it is the key to our success. And I hope you're happy to hear that we think that and will continue to tell us how we're doing. So let's celebrate 80 years of transforming lives and revitalising communities, and let's look forward to the next 80 years and to the next sessions in the day, which I hope you really enjoy. Thank you very much.
My talk today is to actually set up and talking in the workshops about what we want from resident involvement at Riverside, but what you want from resident involvement. And there have been staff briefed to work with you over the next hour to find out what it is that you want. I've got a 10-minute presentation to tell you what we think we're offering, and let's see if it's the same thing. Right, getting involved with Riverside, we want to highlight the key messages that are in the report that we sent down to you all earlier this year. Did you all get it? Who threw it in straight away? Yeah, I thought somebody might have done. It did have a purpose though. It wasn't just to say that we think we got everything right. It's to say that this is what we're trying to do, and we want to get it right, and we want to get it better. I particularly want the staff that you see on a day-to-day basis, to understand how we value the work that we get from you, how the information we get from you, how your ideas matter to us, and then how we can actually change Riverside as a group of organisations, or one organisation coming up, to actually get better. We really want staff to get involved in listening to that and coming back to you with what we're able to do with the ideas that you're giving to us. It really does count. It really matters for us. This is my key message about residents being involved with us. I want you to be our critical friends. I want you to be critical. But I want you to do it in as friendly a way as possible so we can work together to move on and changing things. I want you to be our friends. I want us to work in a friendly way. I thinking about each other's heads, shouting at each other, we're not hearing what needs to be said, we're just having a really good argument. And I need tenants at the group level to be part of the divisional, the Riverside group boards, to be part of the committees, and to be part of the federation that we're going to really sort of grow over the next few months to take forward. So we're trying to offer a whole set of different ways in which people can be involved in a way that suits individual tenants for themselves rather than just for us. The federation is our new structure that we're coming into play properly in April next year. We have the federation already, it will be growing into its new role over the next few months. The federation will be made up of people that come from each of the divisions and in the local housing associations in Riverside. People get onto those local groups from their local neighbourhood groups. What I need is a group of tenants at the federation who will be effectively the executive group of the federation. I want all the tenants there to work with us in terms of how we shape services. Now I think that we need to do that in a way that includes people as much as possible. You have real power as tenants. We're embodying that power in the federation, but it needs information, it needs ideas from you.
Well, next one, I'd like to introduce Mr. Phil Redmond, one of our ambassadors of Liverpool and Supreme Lord Council of Culture.
Thank you. There's supposed to be a slide up there to tell me what I'm supposed to talk about. But I think it's culture and community. There you go. So, I just want to come along today because Riverside actually really helped me kickstart the Capital Culture Project. So at the beginning of the year, I don't know whether you realise this, but there was a few people a bit sceptical about what's going to happen. Now, you wouldn't believe that in Liverpool, would you, that people would be sceptical about things? I don't know whether you've ever at the time, but there's half-page articles in The Guardian saying that Capital Culture had rejected the Irish artists who did the murals in Belfast. Do you know all those murals of the guys holding the guns and the balaclavas and all that? And they wanted to come to Liverpool to do a mural. And apparently someone in the Capital Culture company told them that they weren't edgy enough. So I thought, that actually sounds quite cool. So people want to be involved now. All the scepticism, all the worries at the beginning of the year have gone, I think. And people now see it's been a bit of a success. And people want it to continue. And they want something to happen next year. Something to keep engaged with. Because what I want to move forward with is to sort of take some of these things and the real legacy out of 2008 into 2009 is to just keep people talking to each other. Just keep people working together. So, thank you for listening to me. And we've got to get back and enjoy yourself now.